If you haven't started grinding these free-to-play units, then start now. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here, and we're back for another Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we are talking about the 7th anniversary free-to-play units, how you can grind them out, and their recommended hidden potential. So we have a wonderful guide here from Mr. Greg Daw on Twitter once again. Huge shout out to him for this work. He puts a lot of effort into these guides, and if you're enjoying these videos and enjoying these visual guides, then please give him a follow over on Twitter and drop him a sub on his YouTube channel. This guy puts in a lot of work to these, and it really shows. So let's go ahead and talk about the first of the units on here, the Gohan. If you haven't already started, you want to begin by grinding yourself out 14 copies of this SSR Tech Team Gohan. You'll need 10 copies to get him all the way up to SA10, then 4 copies to to awaken his hidden potential fully. We'll go over in a minute the recommended build for him, because once he EZAs, that's going to determine how you want to build him. You'll also need to grind out another 10 copies. So in part 1, this is what you should be focusing on doing, grinding out the copies. You need to grind out another 10 copies for a total of 20 copies. The second 10 copies are to get the LR from SA10 to SA20 without using any Kais, right? With free-to-play units, there's absolutely no reason you should be using Kais, so take the time now if you've already grinded out everything else. You'll also want to grind out another 5 copies for when he finally EZAs to bring him up to SA20. So totaling in 29 copies of this teen Gohan you'll want to grind out. During part 1, you can also awaken him to TUR. So you can awaken him to TUR at the current moment. It is recommended that you go ahead and grind out 90 of the awakening medals for TUR. 30 to go ahead and awaken him right now to the TUR status, and then another 60 for the second SA10 copy, and then the third SA5 copy for the EZA. So you'll need 90 of these medals total. In part 2, when the medals to awaken him to an LR drop, you will need to grind out 150 of those medals. 50 for each copy. The SA10 copy, which is your main copy with all paths open, your second SA10 copy, and your SA5 copy. So totaling in 150 medals you will need to grind out. That's a lot. So definitely prioritize getting him done first, because he will take the longest considering he needs the most. So again, part 1, focus on grinding out the 90 medals and the 29 copies. The second unit you're going to want to begin grinding out is this AGL Chichi from the All Fired Up Marriage Showdown Grand Finale. You'll need to grind out 19 copies of her. Just like with the Gohan, you will need 10 copies to awaken her SA all the way up to SA10. You'll need another 4 to open up her hidden potential all the way up to max, and then another 5 to get her, since she is only a TUR, to SA15. So a total of 19 copies of her you'll need to grind out. In part 2, when the medals drop to awaken her to the Goku and Chichi, you will need to grind out 20 medals, 10 for each copy, the SA10 and the SA5 copy. Pretty easy for the TURs. And then finally, for the Vegeta and Bulma, you will need to grind out 19 copies once again, 10 for the SA10 and 5 for the SA5, and then 4 to open up all paths. And just like the Goku and Chichi, you will need 20 medals, 10 for each copy. All 3 of these units will awaken in part 3 of the celebration and EZA into their sort of final conditions. So what we're going to go do now is go ahead and take a look at their EZA details, so we can talk about how to build them with their hidden potential, so you don't waste any orbs or any copies having to change up your hidden potential. So let's start with the EZA Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, the LR. They are a hybrid Saiyans and joined forces, category key 3, HP attack and defense leader for 120% post EZA. On their 12 key super attack, they raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause colossal damage to the enemy. On their 18 key, they massively raise attack for 1 turn and cause mega colossal damage to the enemy. Their passive activates an entrance animation. This entrance animation is actually super cool, and I definitely recommend you check it out. It's basically the opening from Path to Power, the last ending of Dragon Ball, the Buu Saga. They give key 3 HP or attack and defense 70% for 7 turns from the start of turn. They are attack and defense 70%. They give key 1, and then an additional 70% when there's an ally on the team who includes Goku on the team, and gain an additional key 1 and defense 70% if the character is attacking in the same turn. They also get key 1 and an additional defense 70% when there's an ally who includes Vegeta in the same turn. And they also gain the additional key 1 if they're attacking in the same turn. So basically, they get all these extra buffs if you're running them on a team with Goku and Vegeta. And because of the way their categories work, there's really only 2 categories currently on Global you can run them on: Majin Buu Saga and Joint Forces. And both of these, I'll just pull up the Majin Buu Saga because it'll be easier. So both of these have the STR, Goku, and Vegeta, which can be run on Joint Forces or Majin Buu Saga. So that's honestly, in order to fully activate them, that's probably the best way to do it. You could also run, if you're running Joint Forces, since they do lead Joint Forces, you could run a free-to-play version with the other 2 units, the Goku and Chichi and the Vegeta and Bulma, to fully activate their passive. So, knowing their passive, knowing what they do on their super attacks, my recommendation is to build them with additionals. They're already, if you can set them up to get this passive off, they're actually going to be looking pretty powerful. This Gohan hits pretty friggin' hard. It's surprising how good he is for a free-to-play unit. I mean, he's no Master Roshi, but he's still pretty good, especially when run with the Goku and the Vegeta attacking in the same turn. He can look pretty impressive. Now, knowing that, again, I recommend going additionals. The reason for is this massively raising attack on his 18 key. If you can proc the 12 key after the 18 key, he's going to be pretty strong. You'll get an attack raise and then a defense raise. So definitely go additionals for him. That's just my opinion for how to run him. As far as the next category, the bond of, or not next category, but next character, the bond of husband and wife, Vegeta and Bulma. They are a Vegeta's family, key 3, HP attack and defense 70%, 77%, and Fizz types, key 3, HP attack and defense 50%. On their super attack, they raise attack for 1 turn and cause supreme damage. Their passive is attack and defense 120%, and additional attack and defense 60% when performing a super attack. They reduce damage received by 20%, and Vegeta's family or joint forces category allies key 2 and defense 20%, and then can change battle armor when conditions are met, which is just from the 4th turn of start of battle. Once the battle armor is changed, he gets attack and defense 90%. Oh, sorry, here it is. Attack and defense 122%, and an additional 88% when performing a super attack. He reduces damage received by 22%, and additionally 22% for Vegeta's family or joint forces. And they give that category key 2 and 22%. So the only real difference between this and the way they were pre-battle change is the 2% difference on each of these. That's basically it. So knowing that, you could really go either way with these guys, since they are only raising attack for 1 turn. There's no extra defense to be gained from doing additionals. So I would definitely recommend just you could probably go straight crit for them, or even a more defensive build, since they do have this 22% guard. You could do a more defensive build, have them be a floating support unit, where they're sort of a mix between crit and dodge. I wouldn't go full dodge, but go whatever you can with the crit and then throw in some dodge. That would just be my recommendation, since they don't really get anything extra from running additionals personally. And then finally, the last one, the husband and wife grand adventure Goku and Chichi. After Extreme Z Awakening, they are Goku's family, Key 3, HP attack and defense 77%, AGL types Key 3, HP attack and defense 50%. They greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn and cause supreme damage to the enemy. They are attack and defense 122% and an additional 22% per attack performed to the max of 88. They launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack, and then Goku's family are joint forces category allies, Key 2 and 22% defense. They have an active skill which can greatly raise attack temporarily and cause ultimate damage to the enemy and they delay a targeted enemy's attack for 1 turn. They can be activated after performing 4 or more super attacks once only. So as far as that is concerned, I would recommend going additionals for these. 1, to build them up faster and get this active skill sooner rather than later. As well as, because they do benefit from additionals having this greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn, if they are the 3rd slot floater, which is most likely what you're going to run them in since they are a support unit, that greatly raising attack and defense, if they manage to proc the 2nd super, they are going to be pretty defensive. So definitely recommend going additionals on these guys. So those are my recommendations for the hidden potential build. Remember, again, for the Goku and Chichi, you should go additionals, in my opinion. In the Vegeta and Bulma, you should definitely go crit, and then again additionals for the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks after EZAing. So, anyways, guys, that is my guide for grinding out the free-to-play EZA units for this 7th anniversary. I hope you found this guide helpful. I hope you liked my hidden potential recommendations. If you found both of those things to your liking, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And in the comments down below, why don't you let me know some of your ideas for the hidden potential builds for these characters? I've given you mine. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. And as always, guys, if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.